Hey folks, Keough back again with a new video for you. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I wanted to do another video. Before I get into this deadlift session, I'm going to talk a little bit about last week and how my training went. Training was pretty inconsistent. A lot of the training wasn't great, so I'm kind of taking a step back and just not quite a deload, but I'm going to cut some of the volume this week and then make a big push to my next meet. So. I really cut some of the benching last week, and the squatting, the numbers themselves were good. I did some sets of 2 with 395, some sets of 5 with 370, but overall, it just felt like it was a bit of a down week after a couple of really good training weeks. So I'm gonna take sort of like a reduced volume week this week, and then after that I'm gonna really push it up until my next meet. On this day, I did a little deadlifting. I did it from the floor for the first time in, I'd say, about 6 weeks. I've been doing a lot of work off of low blocks, and I finally started doing some work off the floor. Over the weekend, I went with Janice to the Juggernaut Training Systems seminar in Chicago, and so we were there on Sunday, and we went through a deadlift seminar, and Ed Cohn was there, and I got some deadlift tips from him that I want to try and implement into my pulling, and a couple of things that he told me that might help me in the future, and things that I'm working on here today. Number one, bring my stance out a little bit, which still feels really weird, but I'm working on it. Number two, point my toes out more so that I can open up my groin a little bit better. And number three, try and engage my hips before the bar even reaches my knees, and that's something that I'm really not good at. I'm not good at pushing my hips through early, but I'm trying to work on it really here on this session. And on this session, as you can see, I did 530 for a triple. That's a 3-rep PR, and then I did 550 for a double. I did both of the sets with straps. I tried to do 550 for a double without the straps, and I couldn't hold the bar. Yesterday I did deadlifting at the seminar, and I worked up to 515 for a triple with the supervision of the coaches that were there, who were all fantastic, and so my hands were just a little shot, and decided to do most of my work today with straps. After that, did 470 for 2 sets of 4. Those felt good. Again, still working on this new stance of mine. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to use for my upcoming meet, but it does feel like I am trading a little bit of speed off the floor for a slightly easier lockout, and I think the trade-off from me is going to be worth it. And the numbers that I put forth today, again, 530 for a triple, 550 for a double, those are both 10-pound PRs for 3 repetitions and 2 repetitions, so I'm really happy about that. I'm happy about the numbers that I put up today, and I'm happy about the total amount of volume that I got. And I was just really fortunate to go through that seminar this weekend, to go through it with Janice, to get some good insights on my deadlifting. And rather than come back and continue to do the same old thing, I want to at least give the insights that I got an honest try, because obviously they're coming from really good sources. And obviously I really appreciate that, and I want to try to build my deadlift as much as possible. I was told that if I really just fix some of the issues with my deadlift, I'd go from being a 575 puller to a 620 puller, and that would be fantastic. That's kind of what I want out of my deadlift, and it might not be easy, and it might take some time, but I think eventually I can get there. Did a lot of volume pulling. I didn't really feel too fatigued from yesterday from doing some deadlifting, and I did do some higher intensity reps and one higher intensity set, but I wanted to still come in and do a lot of pulling, so I cut a little bit of the volume off of my heavy work to compensate for the work that I did yesterday. But I did want to put myself through one of these long rep sets, at least one long rep set, with around 70%, which for me is 405. So it took 405, and the best I've ever pulled it for was a set of 10. I didn't necessarily go for a rep max here, but I was shooting for something in the 12 to 15 range after having done all my heavy work. again, with this new wider stance, I really tried to just use these reps as an opportunity to get a feel for this new stance of mine. Stance again that I don't know if exactly if I'm going to continue to use, but I'm definitely going to play around with it and train with it over the next few weeks. And ended up with 15 reps here. Ended up just really fatiguing at my lockout towards the end of these, which is exactly what I want. I want to accumulate a lot of volume. I want to suffer through my lockout for as many reps as possible. The one last thing I'll say, on this day, I just had people walking over my platform constantly. Even as I was doing sets, it was really frustrating, but that's, I guess, that's the byproduct of training at a large university gym. And, over the weekend, I got a chance to be around some really good lifters. I got to hear some really interesting conversations and some really interesting insights on lifting. And that was really refreshing because sometimes you get in a space like this and people just seem to get in your way, and you can get very down about that. But it's nice on occasion, if you can do it, just to try and travel and meet other people who are interested and passionate in lifting, and sometimes that can be really reinvigorating. And I feel, I guess, reinvigorated in my training. I'm ready to make a final push and ready to have a good meet in July and finally break that 13:55. Anyway, keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon.